I had to beat on that pretty hard. It was a little rusted. You dirty. The axle nut is a 36 millimeter, and I've got the brakes applied inside the cab, and I've got a little piece of wood there to help bind that in there to break it loose. Snow is melting, and my thing I was kneeling on is going to get wet, so that had to be moved. Yeah, it'd be nice to have an impact wrench, but I don't. These nuts on the back of here are actually 21 millimeter, so it's pretty easy to get that brake caliper bracket off and tie your wire up in there so that you can place that out of the way. Once you got your caliper out of the way, we just have to get this the nice job I did. Then we have to get the disc brake off here, and now we can start taking off the ball joints. First we're going to look at this, and yeah, that wheel bearing is shot. Ball joints came apart pretty easy on this one. Just give it a little tap here. Maybe you're supposed to use a brass hammer or not mash the end of that, but that ball joint stud is designed to be mashed a little bit. Alright, now we got to disconnect the ABS, because I forgot to disconnect that cord, the ABS, to the wheel bearing. I had to beat on that pretty hard. It was a little rusted. To get that end off, I ended up cutting the boot because the axle itself was shot, so that I could beat on it easier. Otherwise, I was having a hard time with just being one guy trying to get that out. So while we got this assembly off, we're going to replace the wheel bearing right away, as well as the CV axle. The bolts on the wheel bearing are 19 millimeter. They're in there pretty good. And that thing is corroded in there. We're going to have to apply a little bit of pressure here with the chisel. Yeah, it ain't gonna go. Oh man. So we had some serious corrosion going on here. As you can imagine, why I was beating the living snot out of this thing. See, actually left part of the housing with it. Oops. We got her buffed out. So I chose to put the assembly back together before putting in the wheel bearing. Just because if I put the wheel bearing in first, then I'd be struggling to get the axle shaft lined up and get the ball joints connected. All shiny and new.
Good.